I sit here in the VINwiki studio immensely grateful. And why? Because 9 years ago, we were preparing for the 2904 in Ed's studio at the time. And he's all, come over here and tell some stories. And this channel had just started. And I'm like, that's okay. And I fired off a few, and one of them was the Whittington brothers story. And I did that off the top of my head. And I'm like, not expecting that someday it would have like 1 million views or whatever it has right now. It's been an amazing journey. And I've been immensely grateful because honestly, I think all of my videos I've done over 50 or 60 or whatever now, 250 million people have seen these crazy stories I've come up with. It's been an amazing journey. Like I said, this can be read in one video, right? And now it's a t-shirt. And I got people like commenting on my Instagram and coming up to me this show and going, this can be read. And sometimes it catches me off guard, or they'll say it, I don't know the context. Like I'll be like, yeah, it could be read. Oh, that's right. It's been an amazing, wonderful journey. And really, what I want to do much of my life is to continue that journey. I'll keep coming back here, but my new project is to kind of extend these stories. I come here, I tell stuff for 10, 20 minutes or whatever, but I wanted to do a deep dive. I'm a car geek and I'm a car historian, and I do some of that on my Fakara Classic channel, but I wanted to go even deeper into the geekdom. And I got together with Alan Galbraith, who is your fine head gasket at the Concours de Lemons, and he's been doing that for years, another historian and car geek. And we were talking one day and we're like, all these kids these days are doing podcasts. We should do a podcast. And we laughed, and then we're like, no, we should do a podcast. So guess what? Doing a podcast. It's called Auto Obscura. And Obscura, obviously, because we're doing really obscure stuff. We're finding all the corners of the automotive stories and world and picking things out and then just tearing into them and getting into the minutia of all this stuff. And we got into like card cheats, which I did on this channel. It has 4 million views on the card sheet. So I figured that would be a good episode for Auto Obscura. We go in 50 minutes of talking about that, going back and forth. We talk about, like we did one on the terrible twos, all the cars that are two, like Cobra 2, Avanti 2, obscure, weird stuff. So if you're a car geek and you like this kind of material, we figured there was an audience for that. Both of us have been talking about these things for years, and we have a really in-depth knowledge of it, a real obvious passion for it. And there have been enough people coming up to us over the years going, you should guys do a podcast. And so here it is. Auto Obscura is available on all your finer podcast places. And I don't know, I can't name them all because we just started, but it's also on YouTube, which people have been really embracing. And it's a lot of fun. And the two of us have a lot of fun. We're very interactive. So we're asking people who watch to let us know what they think, what ideas they have, any kind of crazy idea that we can dive into. And we've done that. We've done a Fast and Felonious episode where we get into all the illegal things that have happened in car history. It's two guys having a lot of fun, really, really dorking out on cars. So if you're a car dork or a nerd or a geek or any of those levels, Auto Obscura is for you. And doing a podcast is so much different than this. I've got my stories, I prep, and I come in, and everything's done. I give Ed my stories and give the people my stories and I leave. But this is a whole different world we're figuring out and exploring as we go. We have to do all the production and all the research and all the producing and all the everything. And Alan's great at that. He comes from a production background in sound in LA. So he used to have the long blonde hair rocker thing going on. So he's fitting right into the groove of that. And it's been really interesting. It's a learning process. And I don't know a whole lot about podcasts. I learned a lot about YouTube from Ed and this experience. But this is a whole new world, which to me makes it as exciting as it should be. We're doing everything from a cool little studio in Sacramento right now. And hopefully if it catches on and gets bigger, we can build our own cool studio with cool stuff behind it and do all of this. But we're starting with humble beginnings, but big stories. By starting with the obscure, like we're doing, we know this is an uphill battle because I'm sure we're answering questions that no one's even asking, right? So not people searching the internet for a lot of this. This is pure nerddom. So we're going to have to really work to build an audience. But I think the audience will be tremendously strong and tremendously faithful because they're going to want to hear more of this. But I don't think anybody searching the internet or podcast is going to be like, give me the weirdest, most obscure fact possible about automobiles. That's where we're going to live. We're living in a very small, obscure corner of the space, but I think we can fill it with really big, fantastic stories that people will be engaged by that they never heard before. There's so much on the internet and on Instagram and on TikTok that's just repetitive AI slop. They're just regurgitating the same stories over and over again and getting them wrong most of the time, which as a historian drives me crazy. We research this stuff and we find the real facts behind a lot of stuff. And we do something more popular like DeLorean. We're talking about, criminals, but we're finding the really weird facts that got him started and how it began and all those things that people gloss over. They just go like, well, he had cocaine. It's like, no. There was so much more than that. It started so many more years than that. He actually got busted for something like some scam when he was in high school. So it started in high school. So again, I get excited about geeky stuff. That's when that started. So our stories start and follow these long trails of obscure facts that I think people will really like. Formula One, racing, production cars, anything we can get our hands on, history going back 100 years. I find all of those corners. Like I've done here in VINwiki, I try to have told stories that cover all the years, all the genres of cars, because I love them all. And hopefully people who listen to Obscura will like them as well.
This month of VINwiki content is brought to you by Premier Financial Services, and they are the perfect partner in your journey to own your dream car because their Simple Lease is the most powerful tool in the world of exotic car financing. You'll get all the benefits of a leasing structure like lower payments and better tax treatment, along with everything we love about a normal exotic car loan where you can trade in and out at any time, always know where you stand thanks to their amortization table, and accumulate equity for whenever you're finished and ready for the next car. And Premier is great because they're wholly owned and backed by First Financial Bank, which means they have more buying power than any other exotic car bank or collector car bank in the United States, and their customer service is unmatched. Also, rates are lower than they have been in a very, very long time, so it's never been a better time to reach out to Premier, talk to their representatives, learn what you can pre-qualify for, and let them help you own the car of your dreams with Premier Financial Services.